nation's capital, the backdrop for a Labor Day matinee. Mike Pelfrey and the Mets, Jordan Zimmerman and the Nets, right now on Masson.
It's a great day for baseball.
The boys are back. Time to get some autographs and time to get some wins over the New York Mets. It's the first of three, New York and Washington. Good to be back home. Where would you rather be for a holiday than Washington, D.C.? Bob Carpenter and Ray Knight. The guys playing well toward the tail end of that series in Pittsburgh. And if Jordan Zimmerman is anywhere near as good as he was in Florida, we're in for a treat today.
Well, he was absolutely dominating, Bob. He had his fastball working, his slider. Here he faces Morrison early in the game and throws a fastball right by him, then the slider right there. Could not have been any better. His accuracy was great, elevated the fastball. Ramirez tried to get that fastball away and just dominated. 9 strikeouts, 1 hit, 6 innings, and threw the ball as well as he's ever thrown it as a national.
And he faces the Mets hammered by injuries this year. Beltran, Reyes, Jason Bay. They're 5th in the league in defense and 5th in pitching. You would expect them to be better. Mike Pelfrey, a bit of an enigma to them from time to time.
Well, I looked at his record, and he had a great April, great May, June. He had a 10 earned run average, but he's gotten righted. He's throwing the ball exceptionally well. He's throwing his splitter less than he was before, going more with his fastball and his slider, and he actually has a curveball.
Now he's going to stop a high-flying offense suddenly. In 3 games at Pittsburgh, the bats were rattling. 33 hits, 23 runs, and for the Nationals, their first road series win since May against, guess who? The New York Mets. By AT&T, rethink possible. And by Jaguar. Visit your local Jaguar dealer to experience the 2011 Jaguar XJ. Beautiful day in our nation's capital. A lot of folks are still coming down Half Street from the Navy Yard station here in Southeast. The Nationals have a record at home of 34-31. The Mets rather mediocre on the road at best, 28-45. Ike Davis, one of their hottest hitters right now. The first baseman a 4-game hitting streak, 8 for his last 15, batting .375 for the Mets over the last week and a half. There might be a name or two on that lineup you don't recognize. We'll tell you about some of these New Yorkers as the day goes on. Jordan Zimmermann coming off a brilliant outing at Florida. In his career, 1-1 in 3 starts against the Mets. He beat them at Citi Field last year. The Mets are hitting .249, tied with the Padres, 13th in the league, and New York is 3rd from the bottom in the league. 28-year-old outfielder Angel Pagan has become one of the better leadoff men in the league. Zimmermann will challenge him, and Pagan is safe. Great bunt. It might have gone foul eventually, but Ryan did not want to take that chance.
Yeah, I think he's got to let this ball go. I mean, there's no way you're going to throw that kid out there. It was on the line. Thinking it would have gone foul. Pagan can fly, perfect bunt. And the only thing that you can do is hope that it goes foul.
Angel Pagan now hitting over .296 with that base hit. He's an exciting player. He's stolen 32 bases, 3rd in the league, right behind Michael Bourne and Nyjer Morgan. Next up will be Luis Hernandez, the second baseman. And he's going, and he's there easily.
Oh, got a great jump.
How about this guy at 1 o'clock in the afternoon waking up his ball club?
Well, everybody knows that David Wright is their best player, but Keith Hernandez told me prior to the game that Pagan has been their most exciting playing and actually their most consistent player. Got a great jump right there, reading the first move of Jordan Zimmermann, and that first step quickness, it's a lot of steals.
He's at second base with nobody out for Hernandez.
He'll probably try to pull the ball to get him over here.
Hernandez, 26 years of age, from Venezuela. Starting at second base for the Mets. Jose Reyes continues to battle a myriad of injuries this year. Carlos Beltran is back with them, but he hasn't really been healthy all year long. Luis Castillo not in the lineup today. And Zimmermann gives up a foul ball off to the left side, 2-1. There's our train weather. Visit train.com to find a dealer near you. Hard to stop a train. 82 degrees. Low humidity at game time. And underway right on time here, 1:05 on a holiday.
Could be a real tough day for fly balls as the sun is just now topping out at the edge of the stadium.
That's a pop fly out to left center. Nyjer's going to go over and cover it. Pagan, no way to tag on that ball. He tried to get back and at least challenge Nyjer, who got it back in. That's a big out. The runner does not advance, and Ray scouts Zim.
Yeah, PNC Bank scouting report shows you keys to Jordan Zimmermann's achieving success. KO, punch out, however you want to call it. 9 strikeouts against the Marlins. Proved that he can strike people out. 91 innings last year, 92 Ks. Low yield, only 3 earned runs or less in 50 of his 68 starts. That's 79%. And then meet the Mets. Yeah, he's made only 19 starts in the big leagues, 4 of those against New York, and has had a couple of very solid outings, including an 8-1 victory. First time he ever faced the Mets last year.
Pudge was set up outside, and the ball went right over the plate. Right fielder Chris Carter.
Well, hopefully that Hernandez failing to do the job there, getting the runner over. He's an excellent bunter, and there's no reason not to bunt in that situation to get the runner over for your 3rd, 4th place hitters. Yeah.
Oh, that's close. Danny Espinosa getting in behind the runner. The Nationals probably attempt that play, Ray, as much as any team in baseball.
Well, he had him right there. He made the throw too high, but Danny was clear of him about 3 feet, and there you go right there. He is. They don't have the chance to see that, but actually it looked to me that his hand was kind of still in the air, didn't it? What a close play.
Chris Carter hitting .261. 27-year-old outfielder. He's a former Stanford guy, hit .280 in 3 years there. Too old to have played with Drew Storen. Let's have another look at the closeness of this play.
And look at his hand. Look at his hand. It stays up as it slows down. And if he's on him right there, he got him.
He was out.
He got him by a half an inch.
Bill Welke missing on that one, the second base umpire.
But we have the good fortune to be able to see that thing in super slow motion. And to an umpire, that has to look like a tie.
Which always goes to the runner. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
But you're right, Bob. And that's a part of Tim Foley and Liz Stash is they keep that runner close to second base. The percentage goes up about 30% scoring from third base as opposed to second base with one out. You certainly don't want to give a guy like Pagan with that kind of speed that secondary lead or he'll steal third base. And Espinosa right on top of it.
Espinosa knocks it down. Ball eats him up. Not an easy play. The official score could give a base hit on that hot shot. If he doesn't, it'll be Danny's first big league error. And the runners at first and third, one out. David Wright coming in.
You know what I like about it, though, is that he knocked the ball down, that he went over there. He probably could have one-handed this ball, but watch how he tries to get his body in front of that ball to make sure he knocks the ball down. Infielders are taught that with runners on second base. Looks like there's a little bit of effect of that watering the infield as he slipped around there.
I like it. They gave him a base hit, and that's fine.
Yeah,
it was well hit.
Tough play. But he did knock that thing down to keep the runner and the double play in order.
I also like it when the official scorer announces on our in-house PA single, because sometimes if he says E6, to us that sounds like base hit. When we try to filter out the crowd noise and all the other. So it's first and third, one out. David Wright has driven in 90 runs. He's one behind Adam Dunn in the league RBI race. Wright sitting at number 5. And Zimmerman gets him 0-2. Nationals defensively, Roger Bernadina, 9 assists in left field now. Top 2 in the league, Morgan and Harris. Espinosa, Kennedy up the middle. Ian Desmond nursing a hamstring that's bugging him. Zimmerman, Dunn, and Rodriguez, the interior defense.
Zimmerman, the power pitcher, strikeout pitcher, 0-2. Either strikes him out here or gets some type of ground ball to turn 2.
And that's a good effort by David Wright, because you know more often than not Zimmerman's going to take you up the ladder with the fastball, and he was able to get a piece of it. Some hitters do not get to that ball.
Most hitters don't get to that ball there, and David Wright did. David Wright likes the ball up. He likes the ball out away from him. He tends to take that ball that's inside and shoot it to right field. You can bust him inside right underneath his hands, belt high, and then he's very susceptible to the good breaking ball. So if he gets that good breaking ball, he'll either hit it on the end of the bat, going up again. He'll hit it on the end of the bat and hit a ground ball, because that's the pitch that he tends to pull. Right center, left center type hitter.
David Wright is more of a fly ball hitter than a ground ball. He's only hit into 8 double plays in 502 at-bats. That's a breaking ball that he hits in the air. Even with Bernadina's great arm, no way to get Pagan coming home on this one. And the Mets manufacture a run thanks to Pagan's bunt and steal to lead off the game. David Wright ties Adam Dunn with his 91st RBI.
Well, he does throw him the slider, Bob, but he doesn't get it out there. He gets it about 3/4 of the plate to the edges.
And it's too bad the Nats didn't get that call at second base. Would have been a scoreless first inning. That was Bill Welke at second. His brother Tim is the crew chief behind the plate, 26th year. Jim Reynolds at first, Mike DeMuro third base. Runner at first, 2 outs. Ike Davis the hitter. And as mentioned earlier, swinging the bat for the Mets really well. Davis has driven in 61. He's only 23 years of age. First full big league season. Mets first rounder just 2 years ago. So he has answered their first base question after the Carlos Delgado days came to an end.
They started the season with Murphy over there. He got injured. Then they brought up Ike Davis, and he hit right away. Solid defenseman.
Yes, he is. And 8 for his last 15 with the bat. 2 balls, 1 strike. Marlins are playing a doubleheader at Philadelphia today and tonight. They're underway. In the first game, no score. The Braves are at Pittsburgh in about 20 minutes. And that's it for the division, with the Mets visiting here for the first of 3. Another day game on Wednesday. 2 more day games, Saturday, Sunday. If you love day baseball in September, this ought to be your favorite homestand of the year. That's a fastball in there. 95 from Jordan.
Well, he just rears back and guns this ball. He sets up outside, throws the ball right on the corner. See how he was setting up off the plate there? Actually setting off in ball territory.
2-2 pitch.
Pudge out there again.
And he goes with a breaking ball. That'll give Carter a chance to run with the 3-2 pitch coming. 2 outs. Only the Pirates and Houston Astros have scored fewer runs than the Mets this year. But they've got a run on the board in the first inning. That'll be out of play left side.
21 pitches already, Bob.
Yeah, we don't like those long first innings. That is Lucas Duda, a former 7th round pick by the Mets 3 years ago. We're seeing some unfamiliar faces in the New York lineup. Josh Thole, their catcher, later. He's been up and down between AAA and the big club this year a few times. 3-2 pitch, runner goes again. And it'll be more pitches for Zimmerman as he walks Ike Davis.
Jordan only had 9 pitches in his first inning against the Marlins, his last start.
Lucas Duda is from Fontana, California. Mets took him in the 7th round 3 years ago. .280 career hitter in the minor leagues. A lot of talk in New York about the immediate futures of manager Jerry Manuel and general manager Omar Minaya. A season way, way under New York expectations. Mets have 67 wins, 3 games under 500. Because of their home record, they've been able to hang in the race at times this year. And Jordan Zimmerman does have first inning problems on occasion.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of young pitchers have. You got to get away from that. He had that great first inning down in Florida, set everything up. It's about that rhythm that the pitcher establishes out there. And we talked yesterday about Marquis not being able to get the ball down until about the 35th, 36th, 37th pitch. He started getting the ball down. I mean, this inning, we had a little bunt, a ground ball up the middle that was hit firm, 2 fly balls. I mean, they've not done anything with him as far as hitting the ball solidly.
Yeah, Carter, the one solid hit off the glove of Espinoza. Way outside, 2-2.
You got to take a deep breath and gather yourself. Forget about that run. Forget about the 2 runners on base. Focus on this pitch right here, 2-2. Make a good pitch and get on in that dugout.
And Jordan right now struggling with his release point.
Trying to overthrow Bob. He's rearing back. He did get the 1 fastball, but anytime that ball goes up and away, that hand does not get on top of the ball. We've talked about it. That's all good right there. Good stride, in line, toe taps first, pushes hard off the backside. But he's got his hand flared a little bit open. You always see the pronation of that elbow, as every pitcher does that, as all those muscles start to slow down the arm. That arm wasn't made to throw that ball overhanded. And it's really weird when you look at that elbow pronate inward.
The runners will be moving again, and Jordan just really not coming close to home plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and that'll bring in catcher Josh Thole, and this will warrant a visit from Steve McCatty. Nationals, since August 26, over 7 runs a game and batting over .310, leads all of baseball. The Nats Expos, how about that? 42 to Labor Days. 5th best all time, as this franchise has won 24 of them. And the Mets dropped an 18 spot on the Cubs yesterday, the most since 1990, when the Cubbies gave up 19 to the Mets. And the Mets are not a high-scoring team at all, as mentioned.
Yeah, he's 1 run down. I know he's thrown 28 pitches, but he can get that back. 30 pitches this inning, 10 the next. Start getting himself back in line. But obviously, sometimes we say that he needs to get it out right here. He just needs to make good pitches, and the outs will come.
Can't get a strike.
Well, I'm not sure that that's not a strike, because Pudge is setting up outside. Seemingly they want to go away with everybody.
Isn't there a time, though, Ray, when the catcher just had to set up behind the plate?
Square behind the plate. But see, he's setting up away. And
he gets that call.
He did, but the pitch that he threw prior to that moved back over the inside third of the plate. But you just need to square up, and Pudge is setting off out there with with the center of his body on the outside part of the plate. And this kid has such great movement. He's way out there now. You're exactly right.
I've heard pitchers and hitters say this, that when a pitcher is struggling, there has to come a time when the catcher sets up right down the middle. Your pitch is still going to have some movement on it, and it's time to quit trying to be so fine.
Well, the great Yankee pitcher, Mel Stottlemyre, and New York Met pitching coach,
way again.
He would tell all of the catchers for the Mets, including Gary Carter, you set up down the middle of the plate, right square down the middle. I want my pitcher to try to throw the ball down the middle, and his natural movement is going to work it to the corners.
This is a big pitch for Zimmerman now, 3-1 with the bases loaded. And Thole was swinging.
And that makes sense to me. I mean, these guys, unless you're Levo, that ball's a tad up.
But hitters want to hit.
Yeah, doggone right. 3-1, bases loaded. There's a lot of RBIs out there, and you're hitting in the 7-hole. That's an RBI hole. Thole, a young hitter.
3rd consecutive full count. He throws a strike, and Thole spoils it. It's funny how one umpire's call probably added 20 pitches to this inning for Zimmerman on that pickoff at second base. He'll walk a run in, 2-0 New York. And Ray, it's not like he's throwing curveballs and changeups. He's missing with his fastball.
Yeah, if there is a right way, he's doing it the right way. He's challenging these guys. He's not trying to throw the ball to the edges, I don't believe.
And although the bullpen phone just rang.
We got a lot of people going out there. There's 2 or 3.
Olsen is up, Stammen is up, both former starters, as Jim Ribbleman fears a long relief outing might be in the offing. Here's the number 8 hitter, Ruben Tejada, who's hitting a .193 with 1 home run. And that is a terrible hitting approach A guy has just walked 3 batters in a row, and he goes up batting $193 and swings at a breaking ball outside.
And people always say, just in the business, that pitchers are stupid. You know, they'll say pitchers are stupid. Hitters can be stupid. You know, that's just a term.
Down to Zimmerman, and the inning is over. It could have been worse. 2 runs for the Mets. Let's see if those loud Nets bats can make noise. You will notice that Ian Desmond is not in the lineup today. Danny Espinosa is. And Ivan Rodriguez having a great career against the Mets. Pudge, .378. And nearly half the time he gets 2 hits or more against the New Yorkers. Adam Kennedy in the number 2 hole behind Niger. And here's the right-hander, Mike Pelfrey. 26 years of age, one of the many players who have come out of that great college program at Wichita State. Big guy, 6'7", 230, but a career record of just 41-40. He's making his 108th start and his 15th against the Nats.
PNC Bank Scouting Report is brought to you by PNC for their achiever in us all. Left turn, he's only given up 10 home runs this year, all by left-handed hitters. Boring, his fastball runs really hard into right-handers away from left-handers.
And patience a virtue?
He throws 17 pitches per inning, which is 7th worst in the league.
That ball sinking in the left field, but Lucas Duda was playing Niger shallow. I'm surprised more teams don't play Morgan really shallow in left field, because he's been known to drop some in there. And Pelfrey gets his first man, now facing left-hander Kennedy. The Nationals draining their bench of left-handed hitters today with Kennedy, Dunn, Bernadina, and Willie Harris all in there, and Danny Espinosa is a switch hitter. Kennedy goes up first pitch swinging. That'll be an easy out. Not bad. 2 outs on 3 pitches after his team goes out and gets him 2 runs. Defensively, the Mets. Angel Pagan, 8 assists in center field. He's been their best player, along with David Wright this year. Duda, Carter flanking him, Ruben Tejada, Luis Hernandez the middle, David Wright, Ike Davis, and then Josh Thole, the catcher.
Let me give you a little bit more on Mike Pelfrey. He throws that sinker, the boring sinker that we talked about. He is a guy that throws a lot of pitches, 3-2 on a lot of hitters. You need to be patient. We haven't been already. I mean, as you mentioned, he's got a big curveball, a slider, and a split finger. So he's got a lot of pitches. He's been, lights out early, 4-0 in April with a 0.69. And then in July, 0-3 with a 10.02. He brought it back in August and had a 3-2 record with a 1.82. But he's a guy that right-handers have a tough time getting the ball in the air on because of that bore hard in on their hands. that sideways movement.
And Ray, we've talked about this before, about a guy getting on first base in the first inning and then running immediately, maybe taking you out of an inning.
Right.
Another way to take yourself out of an inning is have your first two hitters swing at two of the first three pitches of the game when you really need to see something from the starter.
Yeah, you don't learn anything. You don't learn anything. You know, one of the big keys in getting a pitcher by the second, third inning is forcing him to throw a lot of pitches. And it's not so much to just wear and tear on his arm, it's you get to see pitches. Even the on-deck hitter, Adam Dunn, right now is about 10, 12 feet outside of the on-deck circle, trying to see what this cat's throwing.
That's a good breaking ball that he threw right there. Easy inning for Pelfrey. He and the Mets are off to a good start. I don't think anywhere in our country do national holidays come into focus more than where we sit right here in Washington, D.C. Labor Day, Mets on top. Pelfrey bats. He gets fisted. Little hopper over to Kennedy, and Jordan Zimmerman, I don't care if it's the pitcher up there or not, he just needed a quick, easy out, and he gets that with Angel Pagan and Luis Hernandez coming up.
Well, you know, Bob, so many times we see guys working out there in that first inning with their breaking ball, with a changeup, with something different, and you said it. He just couldn't find a rhythm to throw the ball in the same spot twice. So, you know, it wasn't about him trying to pitch around people or be too careful. He just could not find a release point, as you so aptly saw. And the ball's just moving off the plate. I mean, Pudge is setting up on that outside part.
And they have changed the scoring on the Chris Carter hit to an error. Danny Espinosa's first, and that makes both of those runs unearned in the top of the first. David Wright's sac fly in the mind of the scorer would have been the third out of the inning. And that ball is hacked off the left side by Angel Pagan.
Well, look right here. I want you, this is the outside part of the plate right here. And when he sets up, he's going to move all of it. Watch now, you see, that would be right down the middle. That would be right down the middle. Let's see what he does if he shifts outside. No, he's going inside. So he just made a little shift there. That's not bad.
Hard hit right at Kennedy. Jordan Zimmerman gets another quick out.
But just remember that line and look, when he goes away, he's shifting completely off the plate. And with Jordan's ball moving that way naturally, I think he just sits down the middle of the plate and let the ball move to the corner. And just remember, right here is that outside part of the plate. And he should be inside that. If he goes away, then his shin guard is going to go. That's not bad. That's good there.
Well, maybe somebody said that's set up down the middle this inning.
That's good right there.
Luis Hernandez, a light-hitting second baseman. 244 career hitter in parts of 3 years with Baltimore and Kansas City when the Mets signed him as a minor league free agent in February.
Yeah, he's definitely squared up. He can't hit the. He right now he doesn't have his release point to the outside part of the plate. I've not seen him yet hit his spot when Pudge calls for the fastball away. It's been off the plate 6 to 8 inches every pitch. He's going back again.
He missed away, but the hitter helped him out.
That was a little closer, and they will swing at that pitch if he gets it in close, because he's thrown so many balls away. As a hitter, it looks like that it's in that other batter's box. This right here, he's set up right on the outside corner, shifted a little bit, and that ball just off the plate.
Left side. Can anybody reach it? Not quite. Right at the top step of the Mets dugout. In fact, Pudge ends up down there a couple of steps.
Well, there's one way to make that play, and that's to start sliding about 8 feet before you get to the ball, because you cannot run down in that dugout because it's about an 8-foot, 9-foot drop off.
Yeah.
Valiant effort by both the guys.
This is danger zone right here.
Oh,
you're not getting any help. Ryan had to peel off so that he didn't knock Pudge down the steps. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hernandez. Another pop-up out of play. Marlins have 2 early runs at Philadelphia, first game of that doubleheader. Phillies start today 1 game back of the Braves. Chad Tracy hitting his first homer as a Marlin. Two balls, 2 strikes. That was a good breaking ball, and Hernandez fought it off.
Well, that's 3 good pitches on 2 and 2. Fastball off the plate, 3 inches. Elevated fastball, and then a slider in. That's just nice. A nice at bat by a hitter battling. Saw Roger Bernadina do that yesterday and work a walk.
These are the kind of hitters that irritate pitchers no end. Two quick outs on ground balls, hoping for a very speedy inning. And Hernandez is delaying that progress against a pitcher who threw 37 in the first inning.
Five foul balls. He got the first 2 hitters out. He's only thrown 3 balls this inning. The rest have been strikes, and yet he's at 15 pitches.
2-2 again. Finally hits one fair. Kennedy gets behind it. And a 1-2-3 on 3 grounders to the second baseman. Adam Dunn tied some big league history yesterday. We'll tell you how when he comes up. It would be a 5-run fourth inning. Adam Dunn in his 350th Major League home run. He becomes only the 5th player in big league history to reach 350 in his 10th big league season or before. Now, the other two who did it in their 10th season, Ken Griffey Jr. and Eddie Matthews, 2 other sluggers did it in 9 years. Ralph Kiner, Albert Pujols. Great company for Adam Dunn, who's hit 34 home runs this year. He went up pumping on a fastball. He's one behind Pujols in the league race. Second inning, Luna double. The dynamic duo, Zim Dunn, most combined home runs in baseball. They're up there in RBIs and extra base hits. Adam continues to lead the league with 70 extra base hits. Luna double, get your second room of flooring free, 877-241-LUNA. Adam, by the way, 12 for his last 23. Shift is on for the Mets. They actually have 2 guys out in right field.
Yeah,
the shortstop.
Check this out. It doesn't look like there's any holes. That's the umpire.
Yeah,
you got guys everywhere out here.
But think about Adam's line of sight. The center fielders between David Wright and Tejada. He must be looking at a picket fence out there, and he lines one by everybody. Shift not working that time, and Adam Dunn is 13 for his last 24.
I mean, we're setting up here about how high are we? Eight stories? 8 stories?
We're equivalent to the Empire State Building up here.
But, you look out there and there's only 2 people to the left side of the pitcher, the center fielder and the left fielder. Everybody else is over there.
But, everybody's at ground level for Adam.
Yes, they are.
He looks out there and sees 6 guys plus an umpire.
And he just hits it right through them all.
Here's Bernadina.
He's swinging well. I had a nice talk with Adam last night on the airplane, and, he wants to come back to Washington so badly, and I hope that gets done. I mean, not just for the fans, but Adam has developed a great relationship with Zimmerman, and, it's apropos that you show that dynamic duo up there. Those are 2 special hitters. Adam, not too many guys are going to put up 35, 40 home runs a year now, and every year he's done it. It's just automatic. You have to live with the fact that he's going to go through those streaks where he strikes out. I think he's much improved at first base.
Agreed.
And what I wanted to worry about is that if you do lose Adam, you've got to replace him because somebody has to protect Zim. That has to be a bopper.
And who else is out there that you're not going to have to pay $15 or $20 million for?
The only guy that I can think about is Pena down in Tampa Bay, and he's hitting like 211. He is a left-handed hitter, very good glove, a guy that usually hits 30 home runs a year. But there's not that many of those people. That's a small list.
Bernadina hits one in the air out to left center for Angel Pagan. About 5 feet in front of the wall. Adam Dunn's going to tag and go to second.
Good job.
Nice job by the big fella, and the fans appreciate it.
Smart read, good job. Adam goes halfway, watches the outfield track the ball, hurries back to first, and does a great job.
Hey, if anybody can tell whether a fly ball's leaving the ballpark or not, it's Adam Dunn.
He ought to know, hadn't he? But he gets back there. That ball carried a long way. Roger hits the ball hard, just inches. Look at the big boy go. No play at second, sliding. Hey, I mentioned day before yesterday how I don't think I've ever seen Adam Dunn make a mistake on the bases.
Right.
And
there are guys who are great base runners who are not exceptionally fast.
Well, I hate to say this. I don't mind saying it, but I wasn't a very fast runner.
No.
And at one time, Ron Plaza, who was the field coordinator and for the Cincinnati Reds, said that I was the best base runner in the Reds organization in the minor leagues. And I was a below-average runner. So, that was a compliment from a guy that saw all the minor leaguers and just recognized that, you pay, and it all is just a matter of paying attention. You got to know the strength of the outfielder's arms, where they're playing, what their tendencies are, and really, when you're on first base or second base, you look around, you check the outfield first, then you check the infield to see where they're playing. And then in your mind's eye, you have almost a photographic memory of where everybody is. So you should be able to get a good jump on everything. You know, but a lot of people don't do that. They look around, but yeah.
Pudge thought he had a good take, and Tim Wilkie called it a strike. Well, Ray, your point is very well taken. Base running is a big part of this game, and that pitch obviously out of the box.
That wasn't real close, was it?
Yeah, I think Pudge was really surprised. Now Pudge knows if he sees a pitch out there, he better try to take it to right field.
And that might work to his advantage because he hits the ball that way great.
That's a little too far. 2-2. Ike Davis plays 25 feet off the line at first, trying to cut down that room because Luis Hernandez cheats up the middle a little bit just to keep Adam Dunn honest at second base. They know a base hit to the outfield. If they give Adam Dunn too big of a lead, he scores easily.
And they're showing Pudge some respect. The outfield is average depth.
2-2 pitch. Trying to be a right field shooter.
There you go. You see everybody just pretty much playing the shade. Center fielder shading him to right, but left fielder straight away, right fielder straight away, and maybe 3 yards in and a tad shading toward the line.
And Pudge starting to have a good at bat here. Willie Harris is on deck. Willie's been on base 5 of the last 6 games in which he's played.
Only 13 home runs has Pelfrey given up in his entire career to right-handed hitters.
And Pudge will fly it to right center. Nowhere Adam can go on this one. And it's grabbed by Pagan, 2 outs.
I mean, that's 13 home runs and about 700 innings to right-handers. He's given up 10 this year, as we said in our open, to left-handed hitters. That's because that fastball that runs so hard into the right-handed hitters just don't allow you to get the bat barrel out in a position that is at maximum bat speed, unless you inside out the ball, as Adam did yesterday in Pittsburgh, to hit the ball the opposite way.
And another ball in the air. Too many fly balls here. All of them to Angel Pagan. The leadoff single by Dunn wasted. And after 2, it's the Mets by 2. Nats have been scoring lots of runs lately. Here we go. Next 5. Tomorrow night, 2 pitchers making their major league debuts. Dylan G for the Mets. Yuneski Maya for the Nats. Day game Wednesday, Levon against the knuckleballer R.A. Dickey. And after a day off on Thursday, the Marlins are in for 3. And remember, we'll pay tribute to Roberto Clemente Wednesday, Latino Heritage Night on Friday, and Family Fun Pack Day on Sunday.
Bob, what did you hear on Johan Santana? I thought he was listed to pitch tomorrow.
He threw a side 2 days ago, and he said he could pitch tomorrow if the Mets needed him to pitch. But it's a team out of the race against a team that's out of the race, and they're going to hold him back, Ray, and maybe start him later in the week. It's a pectoral muscle. That ball skied to right, and Willie Harris fighting it. He rams into the scoreboard, and Willie is down on a double by Chris Carter. There is no give to that scoreboard out there. Jim Riggleman's out of the dugout.
That's a tough man right there.
Lee Kuntz is racing his way out there. Willie's had a few meetings with that wall in the past. Tremendous effort. The ball just got there before he could get there and set up.
That ball's hit hard. I mean, he was going as hard as he could. He wasn't running along with the ball. He was just getting back there the best he could, and it was one of those deals where he and the wall and the ball came together at the same time. He is not going to want to come out of the game. That young man right there, first of all, he's built like a rock. Scoreboard's hurting too, Bob.
It should be.
Well, just look right here. It's all the confluence of the wall, the ball, and Willie. And he gets the glove almost there, but gosh, that's a tough play when everything is right there before you. There's no give. Now see, if that's a wall that has padding, he will leave the ground and actually be jumping into the wall with a possibility of making that catch.
Right.
But when it's nothing but steel and chain link fence, and I don't really know what the makeup of that is out there, Bob. Is it chain link?
I don't think it's chain link. It's got a little bit of give to it. But all these new ballparks, nearly all of them, have kind of gone back to the old days of the scoreboard that's actually on the same level as the field, and it makes things very dangerous for outfielders. See, it's kind of it's not as hard as a chain link metal fence, but it's not much different.
Well, I'm going to check it out tomorrow.
It.
I'm going to go out there and check it out tomorrow. I should have already done it, but sitting up there in that little cushy place with my boy Johnny, I haven't had to call too many of those.
Well, hopefully not many more.
You going to walk out there with me, Bob?
I'll go out with you.
All right.
You can throw me up against that thing, okay?
All right.
And then, folks, if I'm still with us tomorrow night, we'll talk about it.
Oh, that's a great try, though. You just hate to see anybody get hurt.
And, of course, Nigel Morgan over there helping his guy out. If the center fielder is ball watching, that becomes an inside the park home run. So that's outfielders cover up on each other even when they know that ball is nowhere near them and is not their play. And the Mets are going up hacking. David Wright to short center field. Nowhere Carter can go. And Nigel a one hop it to Zimmerman. So after all that, David Wright thinking, okay, the pitcher just had a really long pause. He's going to throw me a first pitch fastball, and that's why he went up there hacking.
Most of these guys are acting like it is a holiday. They're just going up to the plate and swinging. We talked about patience. 4 of our first 6 hitters have all swung at the first pitch.
And some of these guys are acting like it's the last day of the season.
Yeah.
And the bus is warming up. Here's Ike Davis, who was the first of the 3 consecutive walks given up by Jordan Zimmerman back in that 2-run first inning.
That's a pretty good pitch right there. Now, you know, I don't like to talk about pitchers getting squeezed, but that was a good pitch. There it is, the same spot. Same spot.
2-0.
I guess he's calling that low. Let's take a look on the pitch track, on the kinetic pitch track, and see if I'm just seeing it wrong. I mean, that's touching the corner or close enough. Listen, if he were a pitcher's umpire, those are strikes.
They're going to walk Davis now. And, of course, Ray, if he doesn't walk 3 guys in the first inning, he probably gets some of those calls as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Kinetic North America with a pitch track providing world-class technology to our national and homeland security customers.
That's true, but he is certainly not missing by much. And it is, I mean, it's documenting that he's missing, but when that circle is within that doggone card's length or something real thin, coin.
Lucas Duda was the second man to walk. He's up there with 2 on 1 out. Jordan's got to keep this thing close here. His assignment now is to keep this game 2-0 as long as he can. And we don't know how long that'll be, because with 1 out in the 3rd inning, he's thrown 60 pitches.
Yeah, the 37 in the 1st inning, 26 in the 2nd inning. And that's right on the corner, but he elevated it. He's starting to get that rhythm. At least the pitches are in the same area now consistently.
Lucas Duda, a former California High School Player of the Year, went to USC. That's a breaking ball, low and inside. Big guy, 6'4", 225. They list him out of Arlington High School in Riverside. As a major leaguer, his 6th game, he's 1 for 17. That's why you hated to see Jordan walk the guy. He's had 1 hit in the big leagues. That's a good one. Inner half. Pudge liked it. He came bouncing up out of his crouch.
Well, I think Pudge can feel that he's getting that rhythm now, drilling the fastball as he did down in Florida. The thing, too, in Florida, he had the great breaking ball, and he's thrown so many balls today, he hasn't been able to get to his breaking ball. He's thrown just 4 breaking balls out of his 63 pitches.
And that was a hitter getting ready to dive, and he dusted him right under his hands.
And here he goes, fastball inside, and you're going to see Pudge setting up, and he just misses that by 2 or 3 inches.
That's a hitter really crowding the plate. 2-2 pitch. He got him all locked up on a hard breaking ball.
Well, if he can get to that breaking ball, that will change the whole ball game, because they're not going to do much with that breaking ball.
That's his first strikeout, Ray.
You just see there he commits himself. The breaking ball is so tight and just crisp right to that back foot. That's what we talk about when we say throw the ball to the breaking ball inside corner down to the back foot or shoe top.
Here's Josh Thole, who walked with the bases loaded first time. Kennedy's going to have to hurry. Can't get there. The runner around third, Carter. Morse drops it. And the Mets lead 3-0. Michael trying to hurry. I don't think he had any chance to get Chris Carter at home.
No chance.
So the intentional walk in this inning, 4 in the game, and the Mets putting the bat on the ball.
Wanted the ball outside, Pudge. You see him reaching back on the inside part. And just a ground ball, not well struck, but well placed.
No error on that play by Morse. Carter was going home, and Davis was heading for third with 2 outs. And here's Ruben Tejada again. You think he'll swing at the first pitch?
He's got a chance.
I wonder if somebody said something to him in the dugout. He swung at the first pitch after 3 walks in a row. Now there he goes swinging. Well, you can tell why some guys hit 8th, can't you? The Mets get another run. Danny Espinosa is Washington's number 8 hitter. Zimmerman and Morgan to follow, 3-0. averted further disaster in a couple of those early innings. Let's talk about Danny Espinoza. We're about to see him. Our fans about to get their first look at him, at least the ones here in the ballpark.
I have been unbelievably impressed with this kid. Can run, has all the tools, swings the bat well from both sides. And I always talk about being a ball player, Bob. He just anticipates so many things, and he doesn't have a weakness. Great hands, great arm, and will be either the shortstop or the second baseman of the future. Probably the second baseman as Desi continues to play better at shortstop, swing the bat great.
5 of his first 11 as a big leaguer. From the left side, he's 3 for 6.
Very aggressive.
0-2.
He's a very aggressive hitter, and he's going to strike out until he struck out quite a bit down there in AA and AAA, but just real quiet at the plate. They're going to go up. Real quiet at the plate. The ball that he hit for a home run in Pittsburgh was a fastball about an inch or two off the plate, and he kept that front side so tight, drove that ball on the line. It's something you don't see. Only Ryan Zimmerman has hit balls like that.
Look at this power going the other way. It is slicing into the corner, and that is a home run.
I'm telling you.
Danny Espinoza with his second big league blast.
I'm telling you.
That kid has some kind of pop.
He keeps that front side in, Bob, and Ryan Zimmerman's the only guy that we have on our ball club, other than obviously Adam Dunn. I mean, Adam Dunn is a bomber, but Espinoza has the ability to keep his front side in and drive the ball the other way, and that allows the ball to get back to him in the hitting zone, and he's able to keep the bat flat, and that's your maximum bat speed when you do that.
How about that? In his first 12 major league at-bats, he has an opposite field homer from both sides of the plate.
And look at that ball. That ball is 4 inches off the plate, and to be able to cover like that with 2 strikes, and you know, the only thing that I saw in the games that I have watched was that he doesn't cut down with 2 strikes. And I said, well, that's the way a big boy swings the bat.
Well, Zimmerman scorches that ball right at Luis Hernandez. So the Nats, after not hitting the ball much first 2 innings, are hitting it hard here.
But that's an incredible piece of hitting to drive the ball that much on the line. I mean, I was thinking it was a double. Weren't you?
I was hoping it was fair. And then it just kept on going.
But there's just some kids you see that I did a lot of advanced scouting when I was with the Reds, especially in the 94 strike year, and went around all the minor leagues. And I've seen big league players for almost 30 years now. And Danny's one of those kids that it's like somebody lighting up the room. He plays with such aggressiveness. And you wait till you see him hit a ground ball or a ball in the gap, how hard he runs the ball out and how just aggressively he plays on defense.
Niger, and that ball is just foul.
So I got so excited and told Mike Rizzo, and I said, that's your player right there. That's your player. How can you keep him off this team next year? And he says, hey, it's a long time. Sweet stroke here by Niger, just about 3-4 inches, maybe 5 inches off the line.
They've been pitching him away. Niger's been going that way. But again, I'm surprised that teams play him in left field as deep as they do. I don't remember him hitting a ball over the head of a left fielder all year. But they're playing pretty much the same depth over there with DUDA as Pagan in center and Carter in right.
He needs to be right in there.
He needs to be 20, 30 feet further in.
Because of the fact that, this is like Juan Pierre. Very similar swing. Juan a little shorter. But he's going to hit 95, 98% of the balls to left field, maximum depth to 50,
That time they got in on Niger's hands, and a weak pop up to the shortstop, Tejada. 2 outs. Going to bring up Adam Kennedy, who swung at the first pitch he saw back in the first inning and flied to center. Nationals with that Espinosa homer have hit 127 on the year. Nats came in top 10 in the league in home runs. 3-1 ball game.
Well, Pelfrey's always been a guy that pitches well with a lead, but if you can put pressure on him, you know, he starts having a tough time making the pitches. His slider it gets kind of flat anyway. He had a stretch of 7 games back in August to early September where he went, get this, 4.2, 4.2, 4, 1.1, 5, 5.2, 4.2, and had a 10 earned run average. In 7 straight games, he couldn't get anybody out.
And then he recovered by going 7 and 8 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
7, 7, 8, 8. He's gone 7 innings 12 times this year. And that's what some of the Mets guys told us about him. It's hard to figure him at times.
Yeah, Keith Hernandez, we met a little while earlier, and he was saying that he was either really good or really bad. We haven't given him much of a chance to make bad pitches, as we have just swung at the first pitch seemingly every time. He's not that guy that has that kind of control. He throws 110, 15 pitches per outing. Doesn't strike out a lot of people.
Adam Kennedy, third base side, souvenir baseball day at the ballpark suddenly. He gets to a count of 0-2. Pelfrey keeps throwing it out there, and Adam keeps bumping him out of play. Love to see him get aboard and let Zimmerman represent the tying run here in the third. He's waging a good battle, but still way down in the count. And a fastball up and in as Pelfrey got tired of pitching him outside.
Yeah, if you can just continue to work with this guy, he's going to have an inning where he gives up 2 or 3 runs. Opposition's hitting 289 against him. And to show you what I'm talking about with his inability to really miss bats, in 164 innings, he only has 93 strikeouts. I mean, that's less than 5 strikeouts per game. So there's no reason to go up there and just swing at the first pitch, because he doesn't really have a pitch to put you away. He does have a good split finger, which would probably be his best pitch for a swing and a miss.
Target in again. That usually indicates fastball to a lefty, and he misses with it. And they said he fell in love with a split finger pitch for a while and got away from his good heater. And Kennedy stays alive again. He's worked the count back to 2-2. While you were chatting with Dunn on the plane last night, I was having a brief chat with Rick Eckstein, who is coaching third base for the second day with Pat Listash, serving out his suspension. And Rick was ecstatic about some of the battles, some of the really good at-bats his guys had yesterday. 2-2 pitch. And Kennedy stays alive again.
Well, I have been too, because I think over the course of the season, or I thought over the course of the season early, there's Pat up there in the stands.
He sat in the booth with Mike Rizzo in Pittsburgh yesterday. Today, able to enjoy a game with wife Carrie.
But to finish my thought, I felt early in the year, all the way to really late July, early August, that we gave away a lot of bats by not battling with 2 strikes.
Kennedy finally got jammed enough to hit the ball fair. That's a good at bat. Zimmerman will lead off next inning. The man who led off this inning, Danny Espinosa. Line drive right down the line, and the kid has 2 big league homers in 5 games. Wednesday, it's a matinee. Nats Mets 12:35. Pre-game and in-game video tributes to the Hall of Famer and the great humanitarian Clemente. Visit nationals.com/tickets, 888-632-NETS. Purchase your tickets today. And if you have any jersey or T-shirt at home with number 21 on it, wear it to the ballpark. Roberto Clemente. Dad and his little lady here at the ballpark today, having a good time. On a holiday. A lot of kids back to school tomorrow. Top of the fourth inning, Pelfrey leads off, and Zimmerman zips a fastball in there that misses. That was Jordan's 68th pitch of the day.
And Riggs already has left-hander up in the bullpen.
Scott Olson's thrown the equivalent of a couple of innings out there already.
Zim threw the 37 pitches the first inning, 16 the second, which made that a 26 pitch per inning average, and then he got it down to 22 pitches per inning. He's already at 70, so he might have 2 innings left in him.
Well, he's facing the same 3 hitters that he got 1, 2, 3 back in the second. He disposes of Pelfrey quickly, his second strikeout. Scott Olson informed on Friday that he was going to the bullpen. The Nationals had him down there and available for the first time yesterday. They also activated Colin Ballister there. Yuneski Maya will start tomorrow. A pair of pitchers making their major league debut. Dylan G for the Mets, with Johan Santana unable to go. Top of the order, Pagan, who bounced out to Kennedy first time, but his bunt ignited that 2-run first inning. Let's hope it stays fair. It does to Dunn. 2 outs. AT&T Trivia. Ray and I coming off the hottest road week in trivia of any 2 announcers in big league history. Which former Maryland Terrapin played for the Mets and the Expos?
Go get him, partner.
Where's Johnny Holiday now that we need him? A Maryland Terrapin with the Expos and the Mets.
Now, see, he's throwing that ball the way that he threw the ball in Florida. Unfortunately, he's at 74 pitches, of which about 25 of those were extra pitches when Pagan got picked off of second base, was not called out on a play that was just impossible for an umpire to be able to differentiate. But just look at the pitch here. He comes in with a breaking ball, and he's finally gotten to throw that thing as he's getting ahead of hitters, and it makes a difference. Jordan's still on a pitch count, I'm sure, as this is his 3rd start after rehab. That one got away from him a little bit. Breaking ball that he laid off in his hand. Yeah, you're right. Ole's been out there since mid-first inning.
Two pitch. Fly ball. Nigel Morgan is there. And Jordan Zimmerman will get a 1, 2, 3, 4th inning with the big guns coming up. That other Zimmerman guy, followed by Dunn and Bernadina. Dunn and Bernadina to follow against Mike Pelfrey. One of the best plays of the year in Pittsburgh yesterday on Andrew McCutchen. And then a 4 RBI day.
To push his RBI total up to 80, Adam Dunn got his 91st yesterday.
League leaders brought to you by Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races. Third baseman since 06 in RBIs, David Wright second. Ryan Zimmerman, of course, his first full season was 06. Pretty good list. Action-packed table games, red-hot slots await. Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races, West Virginia.
Well, Olson has been throwing ever since Zim got off the mound, has not set down. So he's either working on something or he's pitching this next inning. Because there's no reason for him to be up 3 innings unless he's coming in the ball game. And with him staying up in the middle of this inning, I got to believe he's coming in the ball game.
Well, Jordan Zimmerman, Ray, in his 6 innings at Florida threw 86 pitches. He's at 79 through 4 here today.
Well, I just got to believe that he's out of the ball game. Then here we go with that shift. That is a lot of people on that side of the field. It looks. I wish I had a camera to take a picture of this.
Well, if you start with the first base umpire, who is slightly foul.
Yeah, there's our camera.
There are 8 guys between him and David Wright. 6 fielders, 2 umpires.
And he laced a rocket.
And if Adam Dunn would pull a Niger Morgan and take a half swing and bump a ball down the third baseline, he'd be at second base before David Wright could pick up the ball.
Well, realistically, and this may sound stupid, you're down 2 runs. There is nothing wrong with Adam. Now he's got 2 strikes, bunting a ball down the third baseline, getting on base, and setting up the tying run. I mean, you're in the 4th inning. They're giving it to you. You hit a home run once every 13. But I mean, you got this whole deal here that there's nobody attending. I told a story one time about when I was playing with the Reds. I was about where David Wright was with Sparky Anderson managing, and Richie Hebner bunted 4 times, 4 for 4. Sparky would not let me come in and take the bunt away from him. And I was playing third, but he said, I don't care if he bunts all year. And Richie just went 4 for 4. 3 and 2.
With 1 out and Dunn late for it.
Well, if he gets that ball down just a little bit, it's going to be 3-2. That ball was away from him. Protecting just a little bit because he knows he, as Adam calls it, splitty. He said he's got a splitty. Talking about his split finger.
That's as good as a base hit right now for the Nats. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the 4th, first walk from Mike Pelfrey. Last time before yesterday, the Nats won a series on the road. 1 against Pelfrey. May 12th at Citi Field by Roger Bernadina. Later on against Francisco Rodriguez to win the game for the Nats.
Yeah, and that's when he came into his own. He made a couple of great plays in the outfield, playing right field that series. And that's truly when everybody took notice of Roger Bernadina. And he's been playing well ever since. Pelfrey starting to show you that he will get real erratic with the strike zone. And it's just, you know, it's not a shame. That's a word that I use. It's a shame that your team doesn't realize until the fourth inning that this is the type of pitcher he is. He's going to try to 14 out of 20. That's pretty impressive, 12 out of 14, but you have to realize that we've swung at 8 of those. So I don't know if those were strikes or not. That's not taking pitches. That's strikes due to swing or called. You know, when I had a strikeout pitcher out there as a hitter, Bob, like a Seaver, you know, or a Vida Blue, or a Nolan Ryan, or J.R. Richard, or those type people, Don Sutton and Carlton, I would have a tendency to swing early in the count because you knew that they got ahead of you, they were going to bury you. But when you had guys that were control-type pitchers, you know, you're better off going up there, taking a pitch or two, seeing what he has, the movement that he has on that particular day.
Well, and a couple of walks now has Jerry Manuel concerned. Pudge Rodriguez coming up, a right-handed matchup here. Pudge flied out to center, first time up. Pelfrey may be pitching the Nats back into the game here. That's a breaking ball well outside.
Well, he will.
And Pudge was not going to go up there after 2 walks and swing at the first offering from Mike Pelfrey.
And this guy came out of Wichita State, #1 draft choice, 9th pick, and was highly, highly touted. And has a 28-32 record coming into this year. Now he's evened it up as he's gone to 13-8, actually, or that 1 game over, making him have 41 wins and 40 losses. But he can get wild.
And Pudge was hacking. He saw a fastball. And the count's 2-1. Well, we talked about this yesterday. Situation where Pudge needs to get the ball, actually Saturday, needs to get the ball in the air. In that situation, he did, homering to right field after a double that way.
Very shallow here, which is unusual. Right center fielder playing to the right. I mean, this is second base way over here.
Did they not see the Pittsburgh series? He had a double and a home run out that way.
And right fielder, unbelievably shallow.
I mean, they're playing him shallower than
they played Morgan.
Played Nigel Morgan.
It's almost like a right fielder would be playing if Adam Dunn would be the tying run at the end of the game and you're at home.
Two-two pitch with 1 out, 2 on. Nats are down by 2. Pudge with a good swing, but it slices foul. Big guy caught the ball and gave it to the young man. Nicely done, sir. Nice grab.
No,
that is a hero today.
Pudge hit that ball to right center field like he's done. Has over 500 doubles in his career, about 250 of them right central. He could run all day.
That ball is playable. It's over the head of the right fielder. Dunn scores. Bernadina coming around. Here he comes. This game is tied. Third base for Pudge. Now we really can't understand why the Mets play that way.
Pitch sequence to Pudge. He goes slider away. Then he comes back with a fastball away. Comes back with another fastball. He fouls back. Another slider that he gets a piece of. Then a slider that he drills foul. Then another fastball down and in. Too much of the play. Playing way way too shallow for the way this guy can hit the ball that way. I don't know where they were getting their scouting report, but we're glad of it.
Well, sometimes things jump out at you on the field. By the way, the pitch track from Subway, where winners eat. And Pudge Rodriguez, with his third productive extra base hit in his last 2 games, now has 43 RBIs. 1 out, lead runs at third, infield in, Michael Morse the hitter. Well, Ray, you were surveying the field and you saw where he was playing, and it came back to burn the Mets. 2 walks. Now you think back on the 3 guys that Jordan Zimmermann walked in the first inning. None of them scored. One of them did force in a run, but the Nats make Pelfrey pay for the walks here. And Michael Morse will make them pay further. 4-3 Washington.
Great job.
And for Michael Morse, his 30th RBI.
He is starting to do that consistently, isn't he? Just driving those runs in crucial times. Boy, his bat's quick. They were telling me on the plane, Tim Foley, that in batting practice, Michael Morse the other day, they had him out early on the last homestand, and I've never seen a ball hit up there where we have always done Nats extra on our set. And he said that he hit 2 balls over that. That's a long way. Well, it takes a guy like Adam Dunn, who's always been patient, to figure it out. Go up there, see a lot of pitches, draw a walk. Bernadina, right behind him, very smart hitter, draws a walk. Pudge capitalizes after a, 7-pitch at bat.
Bernadina then walks quickly.
Yeah.
And Pudge made him pay. Morse, a nice one up the middle. And here comes the guy who got the offense started 1 inning ago, Denny Espinosa. And he skies one deep to left center. That ball is going to pin Pagan up against the wall. This kid's putting on some display. That's a loud second out.
Man, he's impressive. Bobby, I mean, every ball that he's hitting just carries and carries. Look at his swinger. Very quiet, fastball away, just hits it right where it's pitched. And that is, that's almost 400 feet right there.
Kevin Mensch will bat for Jordan Zimmermann here.
Which means Jordan has no chance to get the win.
And I'm sure it was tempting maybe to send him out there for 1 more inning with the lead. But, Ray, I have a feeling this decision was made before the Nats took the lead in this inning.
Oh, you're exactly right, Bob. They made the decision when he struggled in the first inning that there was a number of pitches he was going to throw. It looks like it was going to be 80. And no matter where the game was, they're not going to risk hurting that young man again.
Not in September when you're 20 games out of first place with 25 to go.
And it's just your 3rd start back in the big leagues from rehab after missing a year. So
Jordan Zimmermann will go 4 innings, 3 runs, only 1 earned. 3 hits, 4 walks, 1 intentional, 2 strikeouts. 79 pitches, 48 strikes.
Settled down after that first inning.
Sure did. Sean Green, the righty. Raul Valdez, the lefty. Well, Pudge is swinging some RBI bat lately. That game he had in Pittsburgh on Saturday, 2-run double, 2-run homer, so he has 6 RBIs on his last 3 hits. Kevin Mensch will take a walk. What is going on with Mike Pelfrey? That's his 3rd walk this inning. But this is the Jekyll and Hyde Mike Pelfrey, Ray, that we talked about early in the telecast today. The Mets at times don't know what to expect from him next.
I am not directing this at Mike Pelfrey, but we as a team, when on the Big Red Machine in the 70s, on the Mets later in the 80s, when just really good offensive clubs, there were pitchers that you just knew that if you stayed close to, that you were going to get to them. Mm-hmm. And there were several. I mean, there were just several. There's more of those kind of pitchers than there are the kind of pitchers that shut you down.
Top of the order, Nyjer Morgan. He's lined out to left, popped up to short. Nats trying to do some two-out damage here, but it's quickly 0-2. Tough take, but a good one by Nyjer.
Well, he hasn't called it all day. I mean, you're right. You said early that he had a tight strike zone, and he's been exceptionally consistent. This ball just missing on the inside corner by inches, but he's done a heck of a job. He hasn't wavered from that strike zone at all.
Morgan out of play left side.
It's funny about this game and how some people get things in their minds, and scouts are notorious for making a decision, writing it down, sending it in. And I know as a manager, Nyjer Morgan may never hit 30 doubles a season. And doubles is a guy that just can hit the ball over the outfielder's head. And the left fielder is playing so deep.
Morgan up the middle. Michael Morse coming around. He will score. The throw is airmailed. Runners end up at second and third. And the Nationals lead 5-3. Two-out RBIs are huge. The Mets will get an error there on Pagan, allowing the hitter to go to second base on that throw.
Just a great two-out at bat. The ball gets up. Nyjer just hits that ball right back where he comes from. Gets his hands above that ball. He likes the ball low. Pagan charges the ball, launches one to the backstop, and then this throw by Pelfrey. He has a very strong arm, but Pelfrey launches the ball second base when Nyjer is only about 6 feet from the bag. That's a little frustration. Great hitting, Nyjer.
Well, Pelfrey done for the day. The Nats knock him out in the fourth inning. How about this, Ray? In their last 3 fourth innings, Saturday and Sunday at Pittsburgh and today, the Nats have scored 14 runs. What is it about the fourth inning right now? In Washington today, it's just the presidents intramural matchup here. Abe blows by George. He's always been the best closer of the four. You think Drew Storen's good? Watch this guy. Look at Teddy closing for second.
Teddy.
Abe goes in backwards. Hard work in Abe on Labor Day. Left-hander Raul Valdez takes over for the Mets here with 2 outs in the fourth. 4 runs in. The Nationals, who had scored 72 runs in their last 10 games for the 3rd time in their history here in D.C., trying to make it more. And here's Kennedy, lefty-lefty matchup.
And was
this is the 3rd, 4th inning in a row in which the Nats have sent at least 9 men to the plate. Kennedy flied to center, bounced out to second base earlier.
And the Mets put their 2 runners on in the first inning with 3 walks. And this inning, the Nationals have drawn 3 walks. I told you Pelfrey would put up a crooked number.
Well, he started off with 8 pitches in the first inning, 24 after 2. So it really caved in on Mike.
Well, we said the hitters were stupid. They got smart real quick. Not directed at them. I say a lot of things that come from the dugout from my playing days. Not intended to be derogatory when...
Well, you should hear how we talk about you guys up here. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Valdez, or rather Valdez to Kennedy. Second and third. That hits Adam Kennedy. And Ryan Zimmerman will bat. But will he be batting against this pitcher? You tend to doubt it. Valdez way ahead in the count. Will Jerry Manuel allow him to pitch to Ryan Zimmerman, who could put the game in command for Washington?
Yeah, I think he will. And the only reason I think he will is because Adam Dunn's behind him. Although, if I were managing, this is the out you've got to get. So Jerry knows whether or not the left-hander has an ability to get right-handers out. But this is the man. You can't be worrying about Adam because there's nowhere to put him.
Nationals already lead by 2. Zimmerman had some 2-out clutch hits in Pittsburgh yesterday. A 2-run single in the 4th. An RBI single in the 6th, accounting for 3 of his 4 batted in. And he falls behind, does Valdez, on Ryan. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a comebacker today. And now it's 2-0.
Well, Valdez has always been a guy that just works the corners. He'll never give in. He doesn't throw a lot of balls down the middle, a lot of movement, not overpowering, just almost a junk ball type guy.
3-0.
89 that's about as hard as he can throw. Now, do you give the 3-0 here? Nah.
No, not right now.
Nah.
3-1.
Yeah.
Have a day. That's a walk. That's an RBI. The Nationals lead 6-3. Kevin Menchholm to score.
He acted like he wanted no part of him.
Lefty-lefty matchup now. Nationals with a 5-run 4th inning now. And Adam Dunn has a perfect day going. A base hit to right, a walk, and a run scored.
And he said last night on the plane that left-handers didn't bother him this year as much as they have in the past because he goes up there thinking left center field and sometimes sitting on the soft stuff. So the breaking ball, he's been able to do something with. 11 grand slams, 291. That's pretty strong.
So after Zimmerman's 81st RBI, Dunn steps up, bases loaded. He has 91.
Big swing, Adam. He wasn't thinking about right field, left field on that pitch.
breaking ball way outside. He didn't swing, says Mike DeMuro.
See, in the past, he would have swung at that.
Jerry Manuel was hoping for strike 2. Drops a breaking ball in there on Adam. Two-two pitch, target away, way out there.
Well, is he going to try to throw him another breaking ball, or is he going to throw him a fastball? He has not commanded his breaking ball, so you would think logic would say throw him a fastball, but I don't know if he will.
Runners are moving. Adam done, and it's right at the second baseman, Hernandez, in right field. The Nats pick up 5 runs. It was almost a lot more. The big blow, the 2-run double by Pudge Rodriguez. And after 4, long way to go, folks. 6-3 Nats. Established 1926, your own great moment starts at Hager.com. And by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. A lot of water traffic down by the National Harbor on this Labor Day Monday, September 6th.
Why not? Couldn't pick a more beautiful day.
This will be interesting, Ray. Scott Olson struggling mightily. He has a chance to swoop in here and get a W with some solid innings of pitching. They'll take on 3, 4, and 5. Carter, Wright, and Davis in the top of the 5th.
Well, he needs to get going. He's got a month to make an impression. Lately,
he's pitching for his job for next year, isn't he?
There is no doubt. You've got Detweiler and Lannon now. I believe both of them are ahead of Scott. I know Lannon is.
That's been great.
And Detweiler throws the heck out of the ball. So, I mean, he's just pitched himself into the third starting left-hander.
Target in. Mike Pelfrey responsible for all 6 Nationals runs, 3 2/3, on only 5 hits. 3 walks, all in the 4th inning. Each starter had a 3-walk inning today. But Jordan Zimmerman minimized his damage much better.
He did after that first inning, and everybody remember a bunt, a fly ball, a stolen base, then a play that, iffy, pickoff play, a ground ball that was hit hard that Espinosa knocked down. They did not hit him hard. They didn't hit the ball hard on him all day long. Carter, the double, was the only ball that was hit really hard.
In fact, Carter hit that ball at Espinosa, so he's the only Met who really had good swings. 2-2 pitch. Scott Olson blows it by Carter, who had 2 really good at-bats, and that's the first down, the top of the 5th inning.
Well, he just runs the fastball away from him. I believe it's a fastball. Yeah, he just runs a fastball there.
It looked like it had a little cut or something at the
end. It had a little movement. You can see Pudge right there with the inside out where he turns his wrist up to the sky, and that generally indicates movement.
There's David Wright, who's hit 2 fly balls, 1 for a sac fly, and a fastball away. They're in the 7th inning already in Philadelphia. Marlins lead the Phils 2-0 in the first game of that doubleheader. Tracy a home run. Anibal Sanchez and Roy Oswalt in the nightcap tonight. They'll play a split doubleheader there. And the Braves have traded runs with the Pirates 1-1, 4th inning in Pittsburgh. Atlanta by 1 game over Philadelphia in the East. 2-0 to David Wright. And Scott misses badly, ball 3.
And I don't want this to go unnoticed. Riggleman bringing in the left-hander as Jerry Manuel has their lineup stacked from 4 through 6. Davis, Duda, THOLE, all left-handed hitters. Carter, the left-handed hitter. It's nice to be able to do that. It wasn't something that was planned. But, you know.
That's why he gets the not over Stammen, huh, for this long appearance?
Yes. Just because of the lineup. If they're going to make a change, they pinch hit early. And
Scott Olson's first walk, the 5th issued by Nationals pitching today. AT&T trivia. Now, I've been thinking about this, Ray. I don't know if he played for the Expos, but I know Ron Swoboda played for the Mets, and he's a Terrapin. Let's see if we got it. Bang.
Buddy, we need to go to one of these places that you just have that trivia and you get free peanuts and
wings,
pizza and wings.
Some free wings.
Yeah.
Ron is one of the guys who starred on the Amazing Mets of '69, who beat the Orioles, ironically, from his hometown in that World Series. I could not remember him as an Expo, but he was the one guy I could think of that might have played for both. Nats have walked Ike Davis twice today.
Yeah. I would like to see Scott just throw the ball around the plate. Make hitters swing. He gets in trouble just by picking, you know, and then having to throw that fastball. His fastball's been awfully straight his last 3 outings. That's a good change up there, 83 miles an hour. I mean, you're looking at a left-hander that 4 years ago was considered one of the top 10 left-handers in the National League. The break on that made it look like it was a slider, actually. I'm not having really good. I'm usually pretty good at this. I need to start watching Pudge.
Well, you're sitting up a little higher than you used to.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2. David Wright has been known to swipe a base. Craig Stammen is working. David Wright, 18 steals on the year. He usually steal somewhere between 20 and 30 bases. Now they're down by 3, so they got to be careful.
Well, that tells me that Jim is using Olson just like a true left-hander out of the bullpen as opposed to a long guy.
Yep. Might be a 1-inning appearance. He's 2/3 of the way there if that's the case. Niger grabs the routine fly ball. That'll bring up Lucas Duda, the left fielder, with David Wright still at first, 2 outs.
Because sometimes this time of the year, when you have a couple of guys like Zimmerman, Olson, and a lot of starters in that bullpen, you will, and you may see, and he actually alluded to the fact that he may have a guy go out there like in spring training to go 4 or 5 innings and another starter come right behind him to finish the game on out. Now, I don't think that'll happen often. But I was thinking that when Scott was warming up that maybe this would be one of those games that he was working on something with Steve McCaddy and with Jordan going out early.
Well, here's the other thing. Former starter, maybe it takes him a lot longer to warm up for a relief appearance.
Well, maybe that's why he was out there all that time warming up.
Because it took a while. Just looking at his career ledger here, Ray, this is only his second career relief appearance. He had one for the Marlins as a rookie back in 05 when he pitched in only 5 games. So maybe Scott said, hey, if you're going to put me in there, I need to warm up for 15, 20 minutes.
That's a great point, because you don't look up in the first, second, third inning and see the same guy warming up. You know, it's just something that doesn't happen.
High fastball, foul tipped.
So you're probably exactly right about that, Bob.
Craig Stammen, you know, he's told us that he kind of likes this quick in the game thing and coming to the ballpark knowing he might get in every day. I'm not sure Scott is anywhere near that point yet.
Stammen actually said he could get ready in 5 or 6 pitches.
That's Matt Capps-like.
Yeah, and then take the 7 that he comes and gets on the mound, and he said he's ready to go.
I remember Matt telling me early in the season when I asked him about an evening when he popped up and suddenly was in the game, he said, you give me 6 out there and 7 between the lines, I'm fine. 0-2. Runner goes. Pitch up. Pudge throw. Got him, even though it was on the shortstop side. And David Wright is nailed. Down by 3 runs, trying to steal a base to end the 5th inning. That was a rocket by Rodriguez. Pudge a big hit. Jordan Zimmerman battles his way through 4 after a tough start, and Danny Espinosa continues to impress.
Yeah, how about Danny Espinosa? Gets a fastball away, drills it right down the line. Double? No. Home run. Second with the ball club. Then Pudge with the right fielder playing shallow triples to drive in 2 runs. Bottom of the order, 8, 7, 6. Mike Morse coming in the game as Willie runs into the wall and injures himself. Big base hit there as he continues to clutch up.
Nick Evans in right field for the Mets. These rosters are hard to keep track of. Nick Evans is not on the stat sheet. He's not in the game notes, and he shows up in right field. There are times in September for non-contending ball clubs that turn into almost a spring training scenario. Roger Bernadina, Nats left fielder, 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. He drew that real quick walk after Adam Dunn had worked hard for his. And now Rogers aboard to lead off the bottom of the 5th. And Ray, what you like about this is that the Nats offense is putting constant pressure on the other teams they're playing.
Well, the lineup has stabilized, and everybody's contributing. And that kid right there, he's just become a major league hitter. I mean, every day. He could have had one heck of a day yesterday in Pittsburgh. He got the 1 base hit. He drew the walk, but he hit 2 Ps to center field. And, you know, left-handers are just not phase him. Adam with a left-hander hits a rocket, and You know, you negate power by generally taking a guy that matches up well, a left-hander to a left-hander, or a good right-hander to a right-hander. But this ball club lately, for the last, 3 weeks, it didn't matter who's out there. They were hitting the ball solidly. Other than the one game against Anibal Sanchez, where we didn't do a whole lot offensively. It's been a lot of line drives hit.
Here's Pudge. 1 for 2, making a living going opposite field lately.
Might as well go get him.
Double, homer, double his last 3 times doing that. Paying off in 6 RBIs and shooting his season total up to 43. And Jerry Manuel, after 1 toss to first base, will come out and make a pitching change. So Valdez faces 4 batters, retires 1, gives up a hit, a walk, and hits another guy. Things aren't going real well for the Mets right now. Offense lately, pitching a little better the last couple of days since Levon got roughed up on Friday night. This ball club's looking to do some damage down the stretch.
Well, if the starters can keep you in the ball game, the offense is good enough that they can win games for you. The defense has tightened up and gotten so much better. And this is the best that I've seen the ball club play all year long, except for that stretch early in late April and early May.
You don't want to give all the credit to one guy because it's not that way in baseball. But Danny Espinosa has lit a bit of a fuse around here the last 4 or 5 days. Here's Pudge, who stood there on a pickoff throw, and now he'll see the first pitch from Sean Green, the 3rd New York pitcher, and it's only the bottom of the 5th. He's a sidewinder who misses low and inside. Sean Green, 79 games for the Mets last year with a 4.5 ERA after coming over from Seattle in the J.J. Putz deal.
Well, we had talked to several of the Mets people about this ball club, and one thing that a couple of them said almost verbatim was that this club had no energy. They had nobody that sparked. Pagan was the only player that seemed to spark, that had any real energy out there. And, you know, you have Reyes, who generally was that kind of player, but he's out with an oblique, which is the 5th different injury he's had in 2 years. And you look at our ball club, you mentioned Espinosa, no question that he sparked the ball club, but Desmond shows that spark day in and day out. Bernadina, Morgan. So you've got several ball players. Zimmerman does it by playing every day. He's not a rah-rah guy. Willie Harris when he's in there. We have several of those guys that have that type of attitude, grinding and energy.
Yeah. Good to see Willie out there. We'll get to Debbie Taylor in a moment with an update on Willie after he banged up against the scoreboard out there. Pudge takes a 3-0 pitch that catches the corner.
Well, I'm hoping that it was one of those things. He hit it with his left shoulder, and sometimes you get almost like your crazy ball in your elbow. You hit that thing and get a little stinger in your shoulder, and it feels real bad when it happens.
Bernadina, and it's ball 4 anyway. 2 on, nobody out. All right, Debbie, we saw Willie hit that scoreboard. How's he doing?
Well, Mike Rizzo tells me he is just fine. He was shaken up, of course, when he crashed into the scoreboard, but he is okay. And as you can see, he is out here and probably feeling a little bit better than over a few minutes ago when he went into the scoreboard, crashing really hard in there. But he is out in the dugout and appears to be A-okay, Bob.
Thank you, Debbie. And Ray, it appeared that about just before he hit the scoreboard, he got kind of squared up to it and almost took it like flush in the face.
Yeah, I didn't realize his head did hit that thing, and I'm sure he was woozy. I was trying to figure if it was his shoulder, and it seemed to me that his left shoulder took the brunt of that, but after seeing it.
What was that all about? I thought it was ball 4 in the previous pitch. Evidently, Pudge got called for a check swing. I already had him at first base, so he goes there anyway.
So we can put a stolen base for Bernadina.
That is a steal. And Rogers 14th. Yeah, Pudge thought it was ball 4 and just ran out of the box. 2 on, nobody out. The Nats are pressuring the Mets again. And here's Michael Morse, who doesn't seem to mind any kind of pitching he's facing lately. So the big man is 1 for 1 today, and he's 17 for his last 36. If that ball stays fair, it's picked up foul by David Wright.
Well, Michael has really impressed me and also surprised me. Most of his base hits in that first month were against left-handed pitching. He likes the ball out away from him. He has kind of a long swing. And then when he did face right-handers, they were getting in on him. And I thought, as a talent evaluator, that he would not be able to handle the ball inside, and that eventually the pitchers would pound him there. But, you know, he stopped swinging as Slayton's getting loose at those pitches inside, Bob. And as a result, he's gotten the ball out away from him, hitting those balls hard. And when he has gotten on a pitch inside,
that one right near the bag, a tag, and just one out. Tejada had no chance to get to the bag for a force, so he tagged out Pudge while on the run. It'll be first and third, one out, with home run hitter Danny Espinosa coming up.
Well, he's hit 2 home runs, both of them opposite way, both of them line drives, and that's just not something that's easy to do. So much easier to hit the ball out front and get elevation with bat speed to pull the ball or hit it straight away. To go the opposite way and hit the ball that far, it's a lot of bat speed and a lot of things that he's doing fundamentally correct.
And he has a chance right here for his 6th Major League RBI in his first 5 games. Fastball away. Looks like it will be a 1-inning appearance for Olson. We'll tell you why in a second. You saw the bullpen is busy with left-hander Slayton. 2-0.
Need to just keep on tacking on. 1 in the third, 5 in the fourth. An opportunity here to add another one.
Great speed at third. Espinosa up the middle, base hit.
Wow.
7-3 Nationals.
Wow.
Danny Espinosa delivers again. How about this kid? 2 for 3 today. 2 more RBIs.
Well, he hits the ball with so much overspin. That ball bounces and the next hop is through the infield. And you just can't range far enough. Even though that ball was a bounding ball, it's got that overspin that shoots through the infield.
Scott Olson will stay in and bat. The Nats had Ian Desmond in the on-deck circle. That could have been a decoy. But now that a run is scored and you could move 2 runners up with a bunt, here comes Olson, who's 2 for 23 with 3 sacrifice bunts this year. I mean, you're up by 4 runs. Jim Riggleman, even though he has a pretty big bench flush with extra players, he's already used Mensch and Morse. He decides to leave Olson in here to bunt.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And give Scotty some breathing room, go out there and continue to pitch and just work on his game.
And that sits down Slayton in the bullpen. Scott went stabbing at a pitch well outside 0-2.
I like it better if he gets the bunt down.
Had a little bit of a smile on his face. I wonder if Tim Wilkie said, "You can't bunt that ball. It's a foot outside. Strike 2." They square around again. That's pretty. Perfect. Totally the catcher, and he almost threw it into the runner. Olson with a very good sacrifice. It goes 2-4, and the Nats are doing everything right with the bats at the moment.
Well, he gets the thing squared way out in front of him with the barrel up and just catches it with his hand.
Dangerous throw.
That was.
Another pitching change. So that'll be 2/3 of an inning for Green. He gives up a walk and a hit. And the Nats are about halfway through this already stacked Mets bullpen. .org, the Association for IT Pros. And here's Debbie with the FCS Sideline Report.
Well, Danny Espinoza continues to impress both in the field and at the plate. And yesterday he told me that Ian Desmond has really helped him. He said he's given him some good advice. He has told him to just go out there, play your game, don't change anything that you have done, and just continue to play hard. And it seems like that's working so well right now for Danny. The two are also becoming pretty good friends, and a nice glimpse into the future and a nice double play combination in years to come, Bob.
We hope it's a long, long time. Jim Riggleman told us after the game yesterday they are hanging out together, talking baseball constantly. 24 and 23 years old. Roger goes up swinging at the first pitch from the left-hander Pat Mish, and the 5th inning is over. The Nats score again. They leave 2. They've stranded 6, but they lead by 4. Us excited about 2011. Place a deposit on 2 new season tickets for next year. You get 2 free, plus the rest of this season free. Go to nationals.com/2011 for more information. Great way for a great deal. Get your friends together. 4 season tickets for the price of 2. It'll get you to dancing. All right, Mom. Top of the 6th, Lucas Duda was at the plate when the Mets were down by 3, and David Wright was thrown out stealing to end the inning. Now they're down by 4.
I had a lady in Pittsburgh to come up to me as we had quite a bit of support.
A lot of fans were
up there. And she said, Ray, I really enjoyed your broadcasting, but I just don't agree with not running. You keep saying don't run when you're, down. She said, why would you take that away? And I said, is that the only thing you disagree with? and she says, well, and so she gave me her opinion. I said, listen, you can run anytime you want to as long as you're safe. But when you're down 6, 7, 8, 9 runs, it doesn't make any sense.
It kills rallies. Good breaking ball by Olsen, and Scott now responsible for 4 outs, 2 of them on strikes.
Big curveball. Nice curveball, 81 miles an hour. Good break. Pretty good depth.
Josh Thole, the catcher, with a good day. A walk, a single, RBIs each time.
What has been the problem with Scott is that he was throwing 90-91, which, was a little bit more velocity than he'd had before.
Done to the bag himself, 2 outs.
But he was throwing the ball right down the middle, and it was very straight. The prior pitch to Thole there was a fastball that was just 88 miles an hour, but it was to the outside part of the plate in good location, gets ahead of the hitter, and then takes the sting out of his bat. So, again, it's all about what we talk about all the time, day in and day out, location, location, location.
And at this stage of a game, when you're up by 4, all the momentum on your side, it's just about getting outs. Not walking anybody, staying ahead. They'll miss up and away to Ruben Tejada, who's popped up last time, grounded out to Zimmerman, ending the threat in the first inning. The Mets will never know how many runs they could have had in that first, because Tejada swung at the first pitch and fouled it off. Actually missed a breaking ball, and then he grounded to Zimmerman on the next pitch with the bases loaded and 2 runs already in. Shows bunt, and that's low and away, 2-1.
Bob, you had mentioned just a minute ago about Desmond, and as we look at the Mets box score, go ahead and talk about that, partner.
What was that?
I said, go ahead and read that box score.
Well, there's not much to read, which is a good thing. But Thole is the guy. I mean, he had the single, the walk, 2 RBIs, but their number 8 hitter really hurt them in that first inning. 2-0, rather 3 walks in a row, and he swings at the first pitch and then grounds out.
I was just going to you may have mentioned Desmond and Espinosa being here for a long time. They're going to play winter ball together for a month, and also Timmy Foley told me that Desmond came out to the ballpark in Pittsburgh early and went over to Espinosa and said, hey, let's go outside. And they went outside and got one of the coaches to hit them ground balls and work for 30 minutes.
I saw Jim Riddleman out there with them yesterday. He was out there too. You got to love that.
Well, that's how you become great players, not just good players.
That's Olsen's second walk. And this will be a pinch hitter for the Mets. It'll be veteran infielder Mike Hessman. Hessman, 32 years of age, couple of shortened years with the Braves and the Tigers. Hasn't been in the big leagues since 08, when he hit .296 for Detroit in 12 games. Originally signed by Atlanta when he was heading to the University of Arizona.
Well, he's a big old strong boy. He's 6'4", a lot like Troy Gloss. It's either hit it a long way or strike out for him. Was a guy that came out, hit the ball as far as anybody. I remember him coming up in the Braves organization. And
how about 311 minor league home runs coming into this year? 1,600 minor league games, right around 6,000 minor league at-bats, but a 208 career big league hitter. Batting for Pat Mish.
I played with a guy like that, Roger Freed, back in the 70s. It was a Philadelphia Philly, and just you make pitches on him, he couldn't hit the home runs of it.
You give those guys a lot of breaking balls. Mets are gone in the 6th. New York pitcher of the day, leading 7-3. Let the games begin. Georgetown game tickets now on sale at GoHoyas.com. Ryota Igarashi, 31-year-old right-hander for the Mets. He won 47 games in 10 years in Japan with the Yakult Ball Club, a career reliever. 54 saves over that time. He will face Kennedy, Zimmerman, and Dunn for the hard-hitting Nats, bottom 6. Now this box score will have some busyness to it. Kennedy's 0 for 2, hit by a pitch. Everybody else chipping in. Zimmerman has an RBI walk. Damage from Pudge, Morse, Espinoza. So the 6, 7, and 8 spots have driven in 5 runs for the Nats today.
Home run, triple, couple of singles. Was that a double for Pudge, or did they give him a triple?
I think it was double and third on the throw.
Oh, okay.
Because that's when that I think that's when that throw got airmailed. And Adam Kennedy fouls it off to the left side, which he has done on close to a dozen occasions today. Ryan Zimmerman, bat held high, waiting next. The Nats now have scored 79 runs in their last 11 games, and they're not done yet. Kennedy, fair ball, right field corner. That'll rattle around down around the 335 mark, and Adams into the box score with a leadoff double here in the 6th.
Yeah, next time we see that box score, it'll be full, which it has been I mean, every time that we look at it, everybody contributes. Breaking ball, good breaking ball. Down in the strike zone, though, in the middle of the plate, and Adam rakes that thing down that right field corner for a little stand-up double.
You know, Ray, I made the observation earlier that the Nats have now scored 15 runs, 5 each time, in their last 3/4 inning. That might sound like a coincidence, but that's about the time of the game when you're getting the second time around in the batting order, in some cases the third. And I think what that tells us is the Nats are feeling out opposing pitchers that first time around, and they're seeing things and figuring things out and getting to them the next time around.
Well, this ball club is young enough that it can develop into those Yankees, Phillies type ball clubs, Angels, that do take a lot of pitches and make it very, very hard for a pitcher early in the game, even in the first at bat. You know, when you're young, you have a tendency to be a little impatient, be a little anxious, want to get that first hit under your belt. But, Bob, gosh, we've talked about it. Zimmerman, Desmond, Espinosa, you know, Bernadina, just right on down the line, Niger. All these young players.
Zimmerman hits the ball hard on 0-2. David Wright takes care of it. Kennedy stays at second on the first out. Tomorrow will be a new chapter for both ball clubs as Dylan G makes his major league debut for the Mets, and Yuneski Maya for the Nats, the Cuban defector. 1-2, good ERA in 21 innings in the minor leagues. Too many walks, but almost 2-1 on the strikeout to walk ratio. And he pitched twice in the World Baseball Classic in 06 and 09. That's a night game tomorrow. We'll get you going at 6:30 with Nats Extra. Johnny will be back tomorrow. And there's Kennedy's secondary lead. And he is in there at third base on a wild pitch that didn't get too far away.
Well, that's a ball player. Adam Kennedy is a ball player. And my definition of the ball player is a guy that does all the little things correctly. You may not appreciate him seeing him one time, but if you see him over a course of a month, see that he just doesn't make mistakes.
Stays on the bag. He's at third with one out, giving Adam Dunn a great chance and making those guys on the shift a little nervous as they have to play a lot closer than they usually do.
They are nervous. Everybody's moving around over there on that right side.
Adam has 2 hits today. The only problem was the second one was caught because of where they were on the shift.
Yeah, and you've got this guy playing in, this guy playing in. Second baseman a little smarter than these two guys because he's playing back. You don't want to be playing close to this man.
2 balls, no strikes. Danger count here for the Mets.
Yeah, I mean, this is the third different alignment on Adam. And that last one worked because he had a P out there. If he hits that same ball, it's a hit. But he hits this ball hard with Kennedy at third. He's going to score anyway. As far as Wright's off of the bag at third base, I mean, he's way over here. He can get a 30-foot lead and score on any ground ball.
Adam taking on 3-0. Don't forget about his walk. With one out in the 4th inning, the Nats were down 3-1. He coaches a walk. Mike Pelfrey loses it the rest of the inning with 2 more walks around a couple of hits, and you look up and the Nats have a 5-run inning. Of course, yesterday Adam Dunn led off an inning with a home run. Well, he's done some good things.
And that hitting by direction, half of his hits to straightaway center and left.
He'll take the walk again.
He used
Adam
to be
on base 3 times today.
He used to be a dead pull hitter, Bob. I mean, dead pull hitter. If you were to break down his hits, 90% of the balls that he got hits on would be to right side. I mean, he got 22 hits to left field. That's a lot of base hits for him. 40 hits to center, 63 or so to right. It's pretty good distribution.
And with the 79 runs the Nats have already scored in their last 11 games, it's the most in their history since coming to D.C. Might as well keep piling on. Here's Bernadina. Nats have won their last 2 games by scores of 9-2 and 8-1. And I can't remember a 2-game breather like that anytime in recent history. And today, 7-3 with a chance for more here in the 6th inning. Bernadina takes a side door breaking ball in there, 1-1.
This ball is borderline. Not a borderline. That ball looks down according to our pitch track by a long way.
Then he goes with a fastball and misses, 2-1.
Roger's been so selective. One of the key things to being, or key ingredients in being a great hitter is getting a good ball to hit, and that has been something that he's done so well over the last 2 months.
Upstairs, 3-1.
All these guys with David Eckstein have begun to get real soft with their feet. And Bob, I've heard you talk about it a lot of times. Bill Robinson used to preach that. Yep. Soft feet, fast hands, landing lightly on the front foot. And these guys do that, and it allows them to see the ball and keeps their head still, their eyes motionless.
The Mets have walked 7 Nationals today. And here's Pudge having quite a day after quite a weekend in Pittsburgh. They were playing him shallow, and he hit it over the head of Chris Carter.
Well, he's playing great. Look at this. Just guns out David Wright. And swing the bat exceptionally well over the last couple of weeks.
Dan Warthen, the pitching coach. Well, New York is known for its convention business. They've had about 7 or 8 of them on their mound here in Washington today.
Well, they have 14 pitchers on their pitching roster, and
I count 10 in the bullpen available today.
Yeah, and only about 3 of those have had decent seasons. So they're scuffling trying to find somebody to get people out.
How does this team have a 3.72 ERA, 5th in the league? That doesn't make any sense with what we're seeing.
Well, Parnell, Dickey, and Santana all in the low 2s.
Well, Pudge swinging at a pitch down there. Not what you really want to do with the bases juiced. Kennedy doubled. After Zimmerman grounded out, Adam Dunn walked. And then Roger Bernadina, like Dunn, walking for the 2nd time today. Pudge 1 for 2, 2-run double. He has walked. He's looking to lift one here. That jammed him. And the count quickly 0-2. Nationals Park on Labor Day. Hope you're having a great day. Maybe some goodies on the grill today, some cold ones to go with it. Thanks for spending part of your holiday with us. Bob, Ray, and Debbie here at the ballpark with you on MASN 2 HD. First of 3 with the Mets. Another day game Wednesday. Pudge lifting one to right field. Evans over to get it. Kennedy will score easily. Dunn goes to third. 8-3 Washington as the offense continues to just chug along. Good situational hitting by Pudge and the Nats.
Just fundamentally sound. The team is getting better and better. What is that? 2 gloves and a hat?
That's the only way to stop the Washington offense right now, Ray. Lots of gloves. So another RBI for Pudge. He has 44 on the year. That'll bring up Michael Morse. He's 1 for 2 with a ribby. His 30th. First and third, 2 outs now in the 6th inning. By the way, the Marlins now at Philadelphia, top of the ninth, leading 4-0 over the Phils. And the Braves are trailing 3-1 at Pittsburgh. Tommy Hanson going for the Braves today against Brian Burris, who is listed as a bullpen pitcher when the Nats were there for the weekend but never appeared after Friday night. 3-0. Well, what a day of long counts for the Mets pitching staff. They walked 7.
Nationals just showing the great patience after the first 2 innings.
That's a strike. 3-1. Cincinnati, first place club in the Central, underway at Colorado, no score. Top of the second, while the team chasing them, St. Louis, trails 2-1 in the 6th at Milwaukee. Hot rookie on deck. And he'll bat with the bases loaded. Another walk. The second time a Mets pitcher has walked 3 Nationals in 1 inning today. Latino Heritage Night coming up here Friday. Nats Marlins 7:05. Live Latino music, dancers, in-game tributes to our wonderful Hispanic ball players of over the decades. It'll be memorable. Nationals.com, 888-632-NATS. Get your tickets for Friday night. And don't forget about Friday night fireworks. Manny Acosta
would be their 6th pitcher of the day, and we're just in the 6th inning.
Danny Espinosa 2 for 3 with a homer, a single, 2 RBIs. And the only out he made, he hit about 390 to left center.
Well, coming into this year, I was thinking, you know, the Nationals better start drafting some position players, because the last 3 years since I've been here, they just always seem to draft nothing but pitchers.
Espinosa! See you later! It's a grand slam for the rookie!
Holy moly!
He cannot be this good.
Oh, my.
A 6 RBI day for Danny. His 3rd major league home run. If there's a Rookie of the Month award for September, give it to him right now on the 6th day of the month. They want a curtain call. His teammates tell him, you better get up there.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. Hey, goodness gracious alive.
And Scott Olsen bats again. I mean, have you ever seen a player in his first week in the big leagues touching off hits like this?
No, I don't care what question you're going to ask me. No. I mean, this guy is jumping all over the baseball, hitting rockets. I mean, rockets. The 2 opposite field home runs. Now that home run. You know, I'm thinking 22 home runs, minor leagues, probably minor league ballparks, short porches. Shoot. That's all I
well said, Ray.
say.
I can't think of a better way.
Man.
8 for 15 with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs in 5 games. Scott Olsen batting again. The crowd is, you can hear a murmur, a hum in the crowd right now.
Well, I've got that feeling too. And I've had it since the first at bat when he hit the ball over to the second baseman on a bounce. Bonifacio, and just a thing to see. Turned it into a double just by sheer hustle. The first impression, and I hadn't seen that since really Pete Rose. I saw Bo Jackson do it on a ball up the middle, but then he made those plays and he got another base hit, then he hit the home run.
Zimmerman and Dunn have 6 RBI games this year, and now so does Danny Espinosa.
Well, to finish my point about thinking that all we were doing was drafting arms, because that's the way you build an organization. You got to have pitching first. And I'd begun to say this in the fourth inning, but with Zimmerman, Desmond, Espinosa, those guys all under 26, 24, 23.
Scott Olson out on strikes. 8 Nationals bat. 5 more runs in the 6th inning. Espinosa jacks one out of here. 12, 3 Nationals, and Danny Espinosa's career is off to a grand slam, 6 RBIs. The Nats, who trailed 3-1, and actually 3-0, now lead the Mets 12-3. Top of the 7th inning, Scott Olson still pitching. We mentioned earlier he could swoop in and get a win, and he's about to go for his 3rd inning. Pagan, Hernandez, and Evans for the Mets. Angel Pagan 1 for 3 with a bunt hit that got their 2-run first inning going. Craig Stammen was up 3 innings ago before Olson came in. Angel Pagan has really fashioned him a fine season. He hit .306 last year in 88 games. And you might remember he's the guy they put in left field when Moises Alou first got hurt a couple of years ago. And he started to fade. Beltran was still in center field at that time. But Beltran hurt all of this year. And Pagan, at the age of 28, a former Cub, who the Mets originally traded to the Cubs for cash back in '06. He came back and he's really done well.
Good looking player. One of those guys that matured a little late.
Kind of like him. The more you see of him. He and David Wright have been their best players. David Wright just goes along every year, very consistent, always puts up numbers. They have a good-looking rookie in Ike Davis at first. But the Mets, with Santana being hurt, Beltran, Reyes, the ridiculous off-the-field situation for Francisco Rodriguez, resulting in his suspension. Luis Hernandez on deck. It's been a soap opera year in New York. I thought on paper, Ray, this team was as good as the Phillies when the season started. Pagan will lift one out toward the bullpen in left center, but it's short, and Bernadina's there. Sunday, Nats Marlins And kids 5 to 12 have a chance to help run the team on that day. We call it Kids Run the Show Day, presented by the Washington Post. You can find entry forms in the paper, the Post. Be sure to stick around. Post-game kids run the bases right after the game. It's also a family fun pack day. It'll be the second last home Sunday of the season. Here's Luis Hernandez with 1 out. He's 0 for 3. Little pop fly, Adam Dunn looking at it, over there, reaching, and he's got it. Very graceful approaching the barrier there. Not an easy play.
Well, he's been an outfielder all his life, so it's not going to be the fly ball that gives him trouble. It's going to be the barrier, and he was able to, with that great reach. We were talking about that last night. Adam is...
There's Nick Evans. Came into play right field for Chris Carter back in the 5th inning. Evans just reactivated today. 24-year-old, the first baseman outfielder, who the Mets drafted in the 5th round 6 years ago. Olsen trying to complete 3 good innings of relief here. He's in line for the win after Jordan Zimmerman battled his way through 4 tough innings. Great fastball under the hands of the right-hander. Staying in there. High chopper. Shortstop Espinosa. Watch this arm. Between him and Desmond over there. Wow. Today's game brought to you by the all-new 2011 Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Washington area Hyundai dealers today. It's all Nats. 12 to 3. Time to stretch. Here at the ballpark. The Nationals, a team record since coming to D.C., 84 runs now in their last 11 ball games. Pudge, a big part of it with 3 RBIs. Danny Espinosa, it's all revolving around him right now with a couple of home runs today and 6 Ray driven in.
Well, he hit the home run to left field, line drive to put the Nationals on the board into third, then base hit up the middle to plate another run in the 5th, then the grand slam on a fastball down, drilled down the right field line in the 6th inning. 6 RBIs, 3 for 4, 9 for 14 on the season with 10 RBIs. Jeezy Pete.
She likes it. Nothing like a home game on a holiday, beautiful weather, home team slugging, a lot of good things going on. And the $36 million man for the Mets, Oliver Perez, takes over. Another source of their nightmarish season. $12 million a year for Perez, who on the year is 0-4, 15 games, 7 starts.
With a 6.75 earned run average. Opposition hitting .293.
Joaquin Arias, new second baseman. Luis Hernandez moves over to third. I'll give David Wright the rest of the day off, and David probably needs that. And in center field, Jesus Feliciano. Sometime in the near future, we'll find out where all these guys are hitting. Niger takes a breaking ball low from Oliver Perez. And a new catcher is Mike Nikias. The hits keep coming, if that's fair, and it is from the bat of Niger Morgan. Wow.
Well, this is a beautiful thing right here as he just reaches out and flips that thing to left field. We saw him get a hit night before last, similarly placed. But that's just a nice protective swing on the outside part of the plate. If they're going to pitch you away and play you away, just play Pepper over there. Willie Keeler. Hit him where they ain't.
That's a fair ball. Pulled by Kennedy, giving himself up to move a runner to third base.
See what I mean by a ball player? He just does what he's supposed to do.
Today's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Ryan Zimmerman walks in with a chance for his second RBI. Niger Morgan just itching to touch home plate again.
Tough pitch. Looking for a ball out away from you to elevate the ball to right center field, which is Zim's stroke anyway. Probably going to try to bury him inside here. See how he sits up. Yep.
You're right. Look at him fight that off and get a base hit to right. This team is unconscious right now. Ryan Zimmerman's 82nd RBI, and the Nationals lead 13-3.
Well, all the frustration on the season starting to get a little bit of redemption, as that's a good piece of hitting. I don't care what anybody thinks. That's a little blooper to right field, but it was on a fastball inside that they were trying to come in there. Pitcher made his pitch, and you don't try to do too much. You make contact, and I've said that all year long, harped and harped and harped on it. Just make contact. Things will happen, and the ball club's begun to do that. Everybody, up and down the lineup.
Adam Dunn on base 3 times today. Base hit, 2 walks, 2 runs.
Now everyone in the lineup has a base hit. Morgan with 2, Espinosa with 3, everyone else with 1 apiece, except for the pitcher spot.
They're going to run for Ryan Zimmerman, give him the rest of the day off with Justin Maxwell. That's a good call. No reason for Ryan to be out there any longer today. He'll get a breather until tomorrow evening. Runner at first, one out, a run home in the 7. Nats by 10. And Dunn not fooled by the Oliver Perez breaking ball.
Boy, he's seeing the ball well.
And the 3-2. Adam Dunn goes outside the zone for one of the few times lately. That'll bring up Roger Bernadina with 2 outs. Productive day for Roger. On base 3 times, a steal. 2 walks, a hit, 3 runs scored. And Perez with a breaking ball in there.
Adam probably will get the rest of the day off. Just thinking if they're going to set Adam and Zim, they probably will give the same courtesy to Adam. You know, Perez baffles me. He was with the Pirates, and
you're not paying him $12 million a year.
No, thank goodness. But he has every quality that a pitcher could have. He has 4 outstanding pitches. He has one of those arms that he can throw 115 pitches every outing. But he has never lived up to everybody else's potential. That word potential will kill a lot of people. And expectation and projection.
15-10 with the Mets 3 years ago. 12-10 1 year with Pittsburgh back in 04. And everybody said, well, he's pitching for a bad club and he's got a 2.98 ERA.
Yeah, but the hitters, when I was with the Reds, when he was there, they'd come back saying, this guy's filthy. So something changed. I think it might have been the money.
Does that rap song say must be the money?
Must be the money.
Up and away. Oh, Bernadina strikes out. Where would the pitch track find that one? Nats are gone in the 7th. They score another run and lead big, and I mean big. Top of the 8th inning, it's all Washington, 13-3. Scott Olson. Game day audio, listen to every game live. Visit Nationals.com for details and keep up with the Nats all season long. Justin Maxwell stays in the game, plays right field. That moves Michael Morse to first base, and as Ray mentioned, it gives Adam Dunn the rest of the day off. Alberto Gonzalez goes to third. He's the cleanup man now. Olson throws a strike, and this is Jesus Feliciano and Willie Davis behind the plate. Giving Pudge the rest of the day off.
See what that expanded roster does for you, buddy?
Yeah. My scorebook looks like a mess, but that's okay. We like keeping up with things like this. Good pick on the right side. Adam Kennedy having a solid game today. Top of the hour here in our nation's capital. The Nats trailed 3-0. Scored a run in the third. Haven't looked back. A 5-run fourth. A 5-run sixth. Debbie Taylor in the ballpark. Ray Knight, Bob Carpenter. Hope you are enjoying it on Masson 2 HD. Ike Davis is next. Davis 0 for 1. Pair of walks today. 2 hopper. Espinoza. 2 quick outs. And Scott Olson 1 out away from recording as many outs as Jordan Zimmerman did as the starter. Tomorrow night, pitchers making their major league debuts. For the Mets, Dylan G. Yuneski Maya for the Nationals. Nats extra at 6:30. First pitch 7:05.
And Bob, he hasn't given up a base hit yet.
A couple of walks early, but pretty much unhittable.
Couple strikeouts.
Little scribble left side. That ball changed directions on Espinoza. He's got the arm to make up for it. He went scampering after that ball. He'll bat after Rodriguez, after Nieves and Morse coming up. Masson, brought to you by your Washington Ford dealers. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. Capitol building looking beautiful on this Labor Day, September the 6th. We're going bottom 8. Will Nieves will lead off. Little salsa music for his walk-up. Followed by Michael Morse and Danny Espinoza. And Will goes up hacking. Ruben Tejada handles it, the shortstop. That's how the bottom of the 8th gets underway. Colin Ballister appears to be getting an inning of work coming up. How about those 4 innings by Scott Olson?
Very impressive, Bob. And had the Nationals not scored the add-on runs, I believe Stammen would have been in the game, and he'd only gone that 1 inning. But as it worked out, he picks exceptionally well and gets 4 innings in the book.
Morse goes up hacking and pops it up. Danny Espinosa, how about 2 Ford drives of the game today?
Well, he was driving those Fords a long way, baby. As he hit this line drive to left field right inside the pole. And if you think that he's an opposite field hitter, not. He hits it anywhere. Line drive, right field, bases loaded. 3 bombs in 4 games played. 10 RBIs. Just a little nifty 9 for 14. Pretty strong. Pretty strong.
His first Major League home run in Pittsburgh came as a right-handed hitter. And a little flare left field line. He cannot do anything wrong. He's going to go for a double here and make it easily.
Hey. I love him. I loved him when he got the first bouncing hit over second. Boy,
he has everything but a triple today for the cycle now. Amazing. And here's Ian Desmond to bat for Scott Olson. Ian better get a hit to get his shortstop job back.
I mean, how about grand slam, 2 home runs in 1 game, 4 hits, 6 RBIs. I mean, he's having a career year. I mean, a career day here in his. Is this his 4th game, Bob? 5th game?
It's his 6th game.
6th game?
No, 5th. I'm sorry, 5.
I mean, this is a career day. I mean, I twice hit 2 home runs in 1 game, but it took me 16 years to do it.
Yeah, but you appreciated it more.
Whoa. I mean, this young man, he's just going to think it's easy. And,
he's not, he's too smart for that.
With his kind of talent, coming from AA, AAA to the big leagues, it's not tougher if you have that special talent. It's tough for those people that don't have it, that are borderline players. He's not a borderline player. So he's going to probably hit better in the big leagues for average. You have better lights. The pitchers don't have any better stuff in the big leagues. They just are able to throw it in better places or better spots. You get down there in the minor leagues, there's guys throw 96, 97 miles an hour, but they can't locate it.
Desmond right field side out of play. So the Nationals have already hung 13 runs on the board on 12 hits. And they're facing a rookie making his major league debut tomorrow. Ian Desmond, remember we called it tall cotton?
Yeah.
Still in there with MVP candidates, batting champion candidates. Way outside 2-2.
One other thought about Espinosa. When you come to the big leagues, generally, you're overwhelmed that first week. You're overwhelmed by the crowd. You're overwhelmed by just the whole atmosphere of the deal. And because he played, I think, for a big-time college program in Long Beach State, and he's more mature at 22 years old, it hasn't phased him, obviously.
Nats failed to score for the first time in a while, 13-3 into the ninth. He has 4 of the 12 hits, and the Nats lead it going into the top of the ninth, 13-3. Coming up on Nats Extra, Byron Kerr, Phil Wood impresses, to say the least, in his first home start, and he's impressed us greatly in his first 5 big league games. Scott Olsen's first bullpen appearance, a real success. Live sound coming up from Jim Riggleman on a really, really nice Labor Day here at Nationals Park. Colin Ballister will check in for an inning of work to wrap this thing up. Ray, not often you get through a ball game like this with only 3 pitchers used. The Nats have a chance for a real nice fresh bullpen for the rest of this series.
They certainly do, Bob, and there's enough arms out there. Colin still high on the radar with the Nationals as he has moved into that relief role, and eventually, if not next year, I believe that he's going to play a major part. And if not, some of these guys are going to be pieces to acquiring quality players, because you're talking about great arms and guys that are just getting more and more experience, getting better and better. And that's just like Scott Olsen. We said that he was probably going to be the 3rd left-hander, but he has tremendous value. You just don't have left-handers floating around that can pitch in the big leagues and get people out. So,
25-year-old infielder Joaquin Arias came into play second base for the Mets. Parts of 3 years with the Texas Rangers, came over in the Jeff Francoeur deal on August 31st. 2 balls and 1 strike from Ballister to Arias. Out to short, Espinosa. That's 1 out here in the ninth as the Nats keep on rolling. Final check of the scoreboard. The Marlins beat the Phillies 7-1 in the first game of that doubleheader.
Bob, I've talked about Desmond taking up ground. Watch how this kid comes to the ball a little bit, then continues on and throws the ball about 8 or 10 feet toward first base, where Desi has a tendency to wait on the ball, let the ball get there, and throw the ball from that same spot. So there you see right now Espinosa already has that feel of moving toward the baseball, even though that ball was hit real hard.
Espinosa has set a new franchise record with 10 RBIs in his first 5 games. Mike Lansing had the previous record, 8 RBIs. That was with the Expos, of course. Lansing, another one of those guys like Mike Pelfrey and others out of that Wichita State program. But Long Beach State standing proud today for Espinosa, following in the footsteps of Bobby Crosby, Troy Tulowitzki, and Evan Longoria from that talent-rich program.
And he's handled 4 of the last 6 outs flawlessly.
That's a check swing and a swing. Ruben Tejada gone. 2 outs here in the ninth.
Everybody peaking in September.
Nationals 1 out away from their 60th win. Mike Nikias, the catcher, steps in. He's a 27-year-old right-handed hitter from Vancouver, British Columbia. Played at Georgia Tech for 3 years, where he was an All-American. And the Nats about to go 8-5 against the Mets in the season series. 4-3 here. And if the Nationals win this one, they will have beaten the New Yorkers 9 out of the last 12 times they've met here at Nationals Park.
And after that second inning, just absolutely shut down offensively as Olsen and Ballister have combined for 0 hits.
Fans are ready for this one to be over with. 20,224. And Ballister with a breaking ball will end the day. What a Labor Day for the Nats as they beat the Mets 13-3 for their 60th win of the year. It was so good. We have more to tell you about this one. We're back in Southeast in a moment.